What makes a good leader in the corporate world?
To me, it's about vision. So where are we going? Why are we going there? It's about communication. Can you explain to me what that vision is, what my role in delivering on that vision is, how we can be successful at this? So vision, communication, and the third one's probably passion. You actually need to be able to get excited about it. And I've always found if you're passionate about something, it becomes very easy. In fact, not just easy to communicate to people, you can almost struggle to stop yourself talking about it. So you can reframe it into so many different contexts for different audiences, and people will buy into that because they can see that you're believing in it and can't help yourself from sharing it. So yeah, I think passion, and you're obviously familiar with Shivani Gupta's work, but reading her books on passion at work and things like that just makes such a huge difference if you've got that genuine belief inside and you want to get out there and share that with the world.
Tell us about the leaders who have influenced your career, Jane.
Well, certainly there's been some fabulous leaders, a few not so great, and you probably learn as much from those as you do from the good ones. But I clearly remember looking up to people like Gail Kelly, for example, and I've watched her career from quite early on when I was at Commonwealth Bank, and then again watching her through the Westpac days. But also wonderful people like Michelle McPherson, who was at NIB until recently, is now IAG. And I guess different relationships with those different individuals. One was from afar, one was much closer, but learned so much just from being able to sit down and discuss issues, oftentimes after hours, and to mull over what's going on and say, am I taking the right approach to these things? I think having that, whether it's a formal mentor coaching relationship or just a close working relationship, being able to bounce things off people. And I valued that so much that now it's something I aim to do. So if anybody says to me, Jane, can we have a coffee? Can you give me some tips on this? Or, let's just have a regular catch up so I can run a few things past you. I think that's enormously helpful to be able to get those different perspectives.
COVID-19 has changed so much in our world over the last 12 months or so, and I don't think we've seen the end of it as yet. But in terms of management and leadership, how has it changed the way people lead and manage groups and teams of people?
I think it's become quite difficult, particularly with new teams. And I think being able to do that remotely, so looking at somebody on a screen, even via telephone, rather than sitting down and having that face-to-face, particularly in the early stages of relationship. But I don't think it's shown us that that is possible. So I know for many, many years we've talked about flexible working practices. We've talked about can we work from home 1 or 2 days a week, and it's always been perceived as that's just a little bit too difficult. How would we go about managing people? We wouldn't know what they were up to. We wouldn't know if they were being productive on a minute-by-minute basis. Pretty much overnight that all changed. Every organisation I'm involved in, within a matter of a day or two, everybody was able to work from home. It was a miracle that happened because it had to. And I think as much as there have been challenges, we've demonstrated quite clearly that it's not about how many hours you spend chained to your desk. It is about what your output looks like. Are we getting on with delivering on the things we said we were going to deliver on? And that has been done in the context of allowing people considerably more flexibility on a minute-by-minute, hour-by-hour basis. And you see some wonderful posts I saw one from an employee at Greater Bank just last week. A young mum who'd been to the park with her son, who'd done some work on the way home, who'd managed to fit in some shopping, who'd been doing all sorts of things around delivering on a fairly significant piece of work. It was all done in a time frame that suited both the employer and the employee. And I think that's something that we really need to learn from the lessons of the last 12 months, what flexible work really looks like and how much we can promote a healthier approach to that whole work-life balance.
Do you think this is the start of something new in the way we work?
I think most organisations are talking about retaining at least some of what we've had for the last 12 months. Clearly there is some benefit to bringing people together, whether that's on an ad hoc basis or whether that's 1 or 2 days a week or something more than that, depending on the sort of work that they're doing. But I certainly hope and I am expecting that most organisations will allow a lot more distributed working from home, working different hours according to what suits your own personal circumstances, and a lot more focus on what is it we're trying to achieve rather than how many hours we spend in an office.